Hello everyone, this is Mohammed from Python Ninja YouTube channel, and in this tutorial we will learn together attribute encapsulation in object-oriented program. The mechanism of hiding data implementation and exchange is called encapsulation. Encapsulation involves controlling access of the object data, meaning that the encapsulation allows me to give permission to access the attributes of the instance. For example, using the encapsulation adds the ability to hide the instance variable, which in this case the attributes, where the encapsulated attributes and methods, so we can apply encapsulation also to the methods, are restricted and only the public attributes or methods can be accessible. So by encapsulation, we add some layer of restrictions for important attributes or methods. We don't need the end user to access these. Encapsulated or private variables or attribute can be accessed and modified using so-called getter and setter methods. So to be able to modify the encapsulated attribute, we need to identify two methods, which are setter and getter. By using this setter, which is the method that allow me to reassign a value to the attribute which is encapsulated, and the getter allow me to print and visualize the value of the encapsulated attribute. Now, to encapsulate an attribute, we use single leading underscore, and we can also make it more encapsulated by using double leading underscore. Let's start coding to see how can we add encapsulation to our class. I want to identify a class as usual for Python engineering class, and I want to introduce also in the constructor only two attributes or variables. Let me just to preserve the same terminology, we use attribute instead of variable. Okay, however, both are working good in terms of terminology. I want to store the name in the name, and I want to store the age, self.age equal age, and I want to add self.salary, and self.salary will be none at this stage. This is like a variable without anything. And I want to identify two methods. The first one that will go to bring the value from the self.salary. Okay, and this self.salary till now is not encapsulated. How can we encapsulate this? Okay, we can add single leading underscore. Now this attribute, which is salary, now become a private. We will show together that also this is not totally encapsulation, and we need to add another leading underscore to be more strict about the encapsulation. I want to identify the getter method. I want to identify get. Okay, you can identify whatever you want, but please be consistent with the terminology. This is the self.salary salary, and in this salary, because it will only return the self.salary, so I will do nothing inside this method other than it will return to me, okay, the self.salary. So I will access this only from the get salary. So when I build my instance from Python Eng, then I can call the instance.getSalary, and this will return to me the encapsulated salary. Now the question is, how can I set this value? Because I will not submit this value inside the constructor, and this will be through a method, and this method will be set salary, okay, and inside this salary I want to when we call this method we want to send the salary, okay. Remember, this can be anything, and this is not the self.salary. This is the argument that is needed, okay, to make me able to send the value when I call this method, okay. So this is only argument, which is different to this. That is important for the beginner. And now the setter, how can I set the value? I just say self.salary, and this self.salary will be the argument that I will submit, which is the salary in this case, okay. Now we created a class, and inside this class we add encapsulation to the attribute. So we add the encapsulation by using the single leading underscore and by two separated methods. The first one will allow to me to access that private or encapsulated attribute, okay, and the second method which allow me to set the value, and this will allow me to set the value of the private or encapsulated. So I will create the instance, okay. I will create, for example, this Python as an instance, and let me to create also the name. I will add the name of Ali. I want to add 35 as age, okay. Now, how can we set the value to an encapsulated attribute which is not allowed to be accessed from outside? The first thing is to create an instance, and from the instance I can use dot, then I can say set salary, and we design inside this salary there will be salary argument, and I will submit the salary, which will be here 5,000 or whatever is. Now we set the salary without any problem. Okay, how can I retrieve the salary that I set? I will print, okay, the same instance, okay, but with another method which is get salary, and when I execute this, then I get the salary. So we encapsulated a variable, and we build a getter and setter, which is a get salary that will retrieve the salary to me when I print it, or when I want to call it, and the other method that will allow me to set the salary. What if I access the method? For example, I will access Python._salary. I will see this one, okay. Let us to access this one. Let us print, and now I also I am able to access this private attribute, okay. So if I hide this implementation here, then when I run this, it retrieves to me 5,000, meaning that however I have encapsulated this salary attribute, but I am still able to access that attribute, and that could lead to pseudo encapsulation, not like real encapsulation. To have a very real encapsulation, we need to add double leading underscore here, and we can transfer all to double leading underscore here, and let us to use double leading underscore here also. And if I print this, then I will have attribute error, because this class, which is Python eng object, has no attribute, has no attribute single salary, and it will not also it will show the same attribute error when I use double leading underscores, meaning that I am able now to access this only by using the get salary method. So by using single leading underscore I am still able to access that encapsulated attribute, but when I use double leading underscores, okay, it will be fully encapsulated and I will not be able to access this attribute from outside or when I call the instance dot, but I will be only able to access that encapsulated attribute by using double leading underscores but through the get salary method. Okay. And remember that inside the setter or inside the set salary, we can add also some functionality. How can we do that? Let us check this. We can do some functionality. For example, I will change this, okay, from salary to be like base salary. Now I will add if condition. If the base salary, okay, greater than 0, and at the same time the base salary, okay, is lower than 2000, okay, then I will add the self dot salary to be equal. For example, I want to multiply the salary by 2. Suppose I have a correction coefficient, okay, that will multiply each salary by 2 for any reason. If, okay, if the base salary, okay, let us to say greater than 4,000, okay, then I will add. I will not add any correction. Okay, just for the lower salary. Okay, and I will add the self dot salary will equal the same number, okay, which is 4,000 here, okay, and I will also add another functionality here. If the salary is in negative, if the base salary is lower than 0, then I want to bring, okay, invalid salary, okay. Then, to conclude, the attribute encapsulation is related to hide accessing the attribute from outside or from public. Here we access, in this case, the attribute from outside. Okay, we use either single leading underscore or double leading underscore. The single leading underscore is not real encapsulation. Okay, and if we want to make a complete or fully encapsulated attribute, you should use double leading underscore. To change the value of this attribute, you want to use setter, and this setter or set method will change the value based on an argument you will submit from outside, and this argument will be assigned to the attribute. And let us start. First of all, we set the salary to 5,000, and let us get the salary here. The salary is 4,000 because if the base salary is greater than 4,000, then the salary will be reduced to 4,000. But if the salary will be like 1,500 here, then the salary will be 4,000 because of this if condition that will correct the salary. Okay, and in this case we have 4,000. But if I also set the salary to be in negative, I will add minus 20, for example, then I will have invalid salary here, and this because I have now none because I have double print. I have a print here and I will have a print here, and it is important to have one print, and the salary now is invalid. Again, attribute encapsulation is very important concept in object-oriented programming. We use it to hide some important attributes that we don't need any user from outside or any developer to change or to access some identified attributes that will change like strictly important or some critical attributes. For example, for the salary, sometimes we would want to change the other attributes, including some private attributes like status or whatever. And we use double leading underscore, okay, to make it more encapsulated. But if you want to use a simpler version, you can use of encapsulation, you can use a single leading underscore. Don't forget to add getter and setter. And the getter, okay, you can retrieve the value which will be updated now here. It will not become now because of the getter of the setter. And for the setter, we use this to submit an argument like this one, okay, and this argument will be assigned, okay, to the encapsulated attribute. That's for today's tutorial. In the next tutorial, we will learn together methods, encapsulation, and abstraction, in which we hide implementation of some methods and make only the result of this method available to the public and to the end user. Thank you.